Newsnation has signed investigative award-winning journalist Ross Coulthart as a special correspondent. Let's jump in and find out why. Is this a good thing? Let's see. Hi, I'm Patrick with Vetted. Let's jump in. So, yes, Newsnation, which covers the UFO topic quite a bit, they put out a press release and they are signing Ross Coulthart. Ross Coulthart is very well known in the UFO community. He did the Newsnation interview with David Grush, right? So this is interesting. They've hired him as a full-time special correspondent. Does this mean something? Does that mean there's more stuff on the way? And that's why he's being hired, right? It's kind of my theory. Something's up, and that's why they're hiring him. Bring him in, right? If you didn't have stories or if you didn't have something for him to do, right, you wouldn't bring him on. Newsnation, it says Chicago, Illinois, November 14th, 2023. All right. Newsnation, the fastest growing cable news network in prime time, has signed award-winning journalist and author Ross Coulthart as a special correspondent and investigative journalist. In his new role, effective immediately, he will contribute to special projects and short and long-form documentary-style pieces on a wide range of topics, including national defense and military operations. Mr. Coulthart's first project, entitled Unsolved, the JFK Assassination, will be a special time to the 60th anniversary of the assassination of John F. Kennedy, debuting on Sunday, November 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern. I live in Dallas, y'all, so I have been around the hot spot of the JFK assassination I grew up in Dallas. Everybody knows about it. I've been to that, I've been to the grassy knoll and all of that. I've been to that place a bazillion times. I've had that conversation about the JFK assassination a bazillion times. If you live in Dallas, you've been there, you've seen it, you've heard all the stories. I've been to the hospital where, Kennedy was taken, been up to the book depository. There's all these X's in the street, actually, where the shots took place, right? In Dealey Plaza. That's interesting. So that Ross is going to be working on, I guess, conspiracy type stuff. I don't know if that's interesting. Right? So his first piece won't be about UFOs. Additionally, Mr. Coulthart will continue to provide... Ross is a renowned journalist with decades of news reporting experience, and we are thrilled to bring him on board, said Michael Korn, president of news at Newsnation. We look forward to offering our viewers more of Ross's outstanding journalism. Now, nothing against Ross, but I do have something to share here in just a second. A tweet that he put out that it's a little disturbing, to be honest with you. And you'll find out why here in a moment. Additionally, Mr. Coulthart would continue to provide reporting on UFO whistleblower David Grush, along with the larger investigation into the alleged secret U.S. military operation that is believed to have been retrieving non-human intelligence spacecraft for years. Mr. Coulthart is the best-selling author, investigative journalist, and documentary presenter and producer. During his 3 decades in journalism, he has worked at the top newspaper in Australia, the Sydney Morning Herald, the national public broadcaster's flagship program in Australia, Four Corners, and 9 TV network's Sunday public affairs program, 60 Minutes. Most recently, Mr. Coulthart served as an investigative reporter for Spotlight, broadcast on Australia's most watched TV network, the 7 Network. Prior to that, he was the chief investigative reporter for the popular news program Sunday Night. As the recipient of 5 prestigious Walkley Journalism Awards, including the most coveted award for Australian journalism, the Gold Walkley, he has also won the Top Broadcast Award, a Logie, for his investigative journalism and broadcast news. Mr. Coulthart is the co-author of 6 best-selling books, including The Lost Diggers, Dead Man Running, and Above the Law, which exposes organized crime in Australia being operated by outlaw motorcycle gangs. His biography of Australia's official First World War historian Charles Bean won the 2015 Prime Minister's Literary Award for Australian History. Mr. Coulthart's latest book, In Plain Sight, An Investigation into UFOs and Impossible Science, is an investigative work into UAPs. In 2022, Mr. Coulthart began hosting the podcast Need to Know with fellow author, producer, and journalist Bryce Zabel. He earned a law degree from Victoria University of Wellington and resides in Sydney, Australia. So I'll put a link to this so you guys can find out. You can read this on your own, their press release. What did I find interesting? Well, he put out this tweet on November 12th. So this was announced November 14th. So 2 days prior to that, he put out this. And you may already see the red flag on my screen without even me having to point it out. You may already see it. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to see if you see it already. Depends how deep you are into, UFO Twitter and if you're on Twitter and, UFOs. So here it is. 2 very interesting articles from UAPmax.com. There it is. That's the red flag, y'all. Making some very bold claims from a purported insider adjacent to DOD Aero. November 8th, UAP Max, and October 27th, UAP Max, right? He's got a couple stories there. If these stories are right, that's the key. 2024 promises to be quite a year. So, Ross, there's a few things here. So, the red flag is UAPmax.com. I'm going to tell you why here in just a second. Okay. The second is, real quick, as a disclaimer, when you tweet out, you retweet, all these different things. I get that sometimes you don't have time to just double check everything about every person you tweet about or retweet and, know their whole history. Okay, I get that. So you might tweet somebody out and somebody's like, dude, why are you retweeting that person or tweeting this guy or whatever, and then not know all the things they've said and that. So to be fair to Ross. So what am I talking about? Well, if you know anything about this topic and have been involved, over the summer, this website came about called UAP Max. This is this summer. Okay, basically started around the same time I did with Vetted, because I've had conversations with this guy on Twitter. Okay, I found out who he was running this, where he's from, what he does. I'm not going to out this guy, but I will share some details about him, right? Like, this guy was, first of all, the very first story I ever saw from this guy on UAP Max was that he had a secret source inside the government that no one else in the world had, that was going to share this video of President Biden talking to aliens, right? And other videos that he had, right? And this source was going to share it with them, and he was going to bring it out, and he kept pushing it week after week after week after week. And the stories he wrote were unbelievable. I mean, they're just literally made up, okay? And everyone that started to call him out on it on Twitter, he just started blocking everybody, right? So the fact that Ross Coulthart would tweet this guy out, again, I'm going to put a link to his website so you can look at it. And I hate to even prop this guy up because, in my opinion, people like this are a complete disservice to the search for the truth and, treating the UAP issue seriously. If you want to treat it seriously, you cannot engage with shit websites like this. Pardon my language. And nothing against the guy. He's working hard, okay? But he's also just making stuff up and putting it out there to F with people. And that's just not cool to me, Because in the UFO community, what happens is someone puts a story out and then people go like this. There's a few different types of people when they hear a story, right? A sensational UFO story or event or something, right? It's like, well, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. Well, maybe it is true. Prove it's wrong, right? Once the toothpaste is out of the tube in UFO stories, it's like it becomes part of the enigma. And people, there are just certain people that are going to believe it, no matter what. Because it may fit an idea they already had. And people that cover UFOs, they know that stuff. They know that they can put out some BS and trick a bunch of people. And this guy, now he may deeply believe in UFOs and want to see it, but he's going about it the whole wrong way. And the fact that Ross Coulthart would tweet him out in 2 articles and like, I hope if these are real, I mean, like, what are we talking about, Ross? How could you not know that this guy is complete nonsense? You know, first thing that pulls up on his website is the story, aliens are here, Biden met them, they are not friendly. That's what I'm talking about. It's absolutely insane. I can't even believe that people would entertain this stuff. All the different stories this guy has told, all BS, all a lie, everything. Cannot believe anything this guy writes. And if you see his writing, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And it saddens me that stuff like this can just trick people. They start to think it's legit, and then you got people like Ross tweeting it out. I mean, that guy just makes up stuff. You know, I'll be honest, guys, I could do the same thing. I could do the exact same thing on here, and I know that. And I know that there's people in this community that know that too. They think, oh, the UFO community is very gullible. That's the reputation it has outside of the UFO community. People outside the UFO community think the UFO community is absolutely gullible. They'll believe anything. And to some extent, that's true. I hate to say it, but it is. Right? And I can make up stuff, make up sources telling me things, make up just for clicks and views and sensationalism. But I don't. Because that's just completely wrong. Not only is it wrong, I don't see the point. If we're actually trying to get to the truth, why do that? And this guy, turns out, he lives up in the Northeast of America, ran some different food businesses, you know, had different stuff, basically, tried a bunch of different things that didn't work, and then he fell on this. He fell on this website that he knew would work, and he could get clicks and views, and he was happy for the attention. That's exactly what it was. He got banned on Reddit for this stuff, for just posting, again, it's just stuff that's demonstrably false. So the fact that Ross would tweet this out, that worries me. But again, just as a caveat, you can't know everything about everyone that you retweet or tweet about. But for Ross to have tweeted out 2 articles means he read them, means he went on the website, and he didn't notice that this guy's website is complete BS. I mean, the writing is atrocious, right? He just makes up sources. So I don't know. Look at that. It got 1.1 thousand likes. So this guy gets all this attention, right? Meanwhile, people like myself and other people who are just trying to search for the truth, who won't make stuff up, right? It makes me sad. It makes me sad because, you know, you can go this way and try to grift and cheat and swindle the UFO community and lie to them and get lots of attention, become very popular. I could do that. I could lean into it, start making up stories, sources, things, big things come, you know, just start doing all of that. And we're growing on our own, vetted, just being, you know, neutral and looking for the truth, critical thinking, right? A little skeptical, believing as well, right? We're trying to get to the truth, right? Following the evidence. But we could just make up stuff, right? Like a lot of people do. I know they do. So it makes me sad. So yes, I blows my mind. That's basically how you can do it. How you can get away with it is just by making up these salacious stuff. So I don't know. Hopefully Ross getting to Newsnation. That's a big deal. Let's see what happens. And yeah, again, little caveat for Ross. Look, he can't know everything about everyone, but he did read 2 articles, and that just worries me. It's a little bit of a red flag for me for Ross Coulthart, right? So what do y'all think? Tell me in the comments. Am I overthinking this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why do you disagree? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And websites like this, like UAP Max, right? And accounts, Twitter accounts, YouTube channels, right? Do you think Vetted is a YouTube channel like this, right? I don't. I separate myself, in this sense. But I would love to hear back from y'all, from the community. Because if we're going to get good reporting on this stuff, we need to make sure that the people reporting on it are, we can trust them and respect them. And I do respect Ross, okay? I do have respect for him. I don't know him, so I can't really say, do I like him or don't like him? I don't know him, right? Do I like the stories he's put out? Yes. I love the way he communicates. I do. I like it. But I'll be honest, again, him tweeting out this UAP Max stuff is like, it's like tweeting out the National Enquirer and like, hey, check out this legit story. You know, it's worse than that. I mean, again, so I'll put links to all this and you check it out and you let me know. All right, guys, it's another video vetted. I'm Patrick. We'll see you on the next video. As always, remember, every day's a gift. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, y'all. Peace.